This video will focus on the underground areas in this northeastern chunk of Mummy Valley in Minecraft by Lifeboat. You can see the general trail and hallways and chambers that I have marked off with maps, locator maps underground, in order to be able to illustrate this. We will enter at approximately here in a deep shaft, which has a nice hint with a red X within the Lohrendt apartments. L-O-H-R-E-N-D-T. Lohrendt kind of sounds like low rent, so I guess that was a little pun that the developers intended. Enter the shaft, go down deep below the ground to an altitude or Y coordinate of about 17, and there is a series of hallways and chambers. I have created a separate map wall for the areas of the map of the set of maps that comprise where these chambers are and do not include anything above ground. So enter at the Lohrendt apartments, and then you can see a branch off to the west, another branch up to sort of a central chamber, which branches off to still another chamber in the same map area as Crescent Lake. Come back, keep moving north, another area slightly off to the west, which is not a chamber but has a little area where there is another chest. Back to the east, another area with a chamber. There is another hallway, and I started marking off this area, but I just did not continue because the hallways off to this side doubled back to this main long hallway here. We will be looking for the red X at coordinates 213-69240, and then drop down that shaft to 213-1724. And now here we are in that general area of this Mummy Valley world. Crescent Lake is farther over to the west. There is Crescent Lake. There is a little bazaar. So we are on and near to the northeastern area of this map of this world. And from high above, we are going to the Lohrendt apartments. From above, at the right angle, you can see that there was a red X down within these apartments. There is a spawner, which is spawning some of those little desert pharaohs, and there he is. We are located on this map, this particular Explorer map, not far from the border of the map. Here, there's somewhat of a gray block structure that shows up on this, for this structure, the Lohrendt apartments. We have now landed at the bottom of the shaft at approximately 213-17-240. Notice the white locator, and we'll follow along this pathway. Follow orange concrete to chamber with chest. Follow orange terracotta to chamber with chest. I have added these markings into the pathway. We are still on the same map. We will go briefly this way down the orange terracotta, halls to chamber with ordinary chest and spawner, then back to here. I call these ordinary chest because they don't have anything needed for the main storyline as far as the hints, lore, and factoids go, but there are other nice things in chest that will be very helpful. Perhaps some artifacts, and also perhaps equipment and food, that type of thing. This I have called a last chamber here because there is no other way in and out of this chamber. Obviously there are multiple spawners here. And you can see there are some things: name tag, stick, saddle, fishing pole, coal, wheat, rotten flesh. I'm not too interested in rotten flesh. Notice that we are still on the edge of the same map. Music disc, C14, 418, cat, gold ingots, string, rotten flesh, iron ingots. And notice the entire perspective. We entered this chamber approximately here. We've come over, come up, come down the hall, and we are on this side of the room in the chamber. And this particular chamber is right on the border of two specific Explorer maps. Apples, ink, rotten flesh, apples, diamond, iron ingots, boots, oak saplings. Enchanted book, paper scrolls, enchanted fishing rod, cold, gold nuggets, wheat. So, especially in survival or even in creative, there are useful things. Let's look back at the map. When we go over to this side of the room, okay, I'm facing north. As I move over this way, this is that other side of the chamber. Okay, let's just go back this way. And we will be back at the map we started with, I think. Yes. So we took that little jag down the hall. Now we're back to the main hallway. And now we are crossing over into a totally different map. And if you look at the locator, the white locator, I'm following the path of the green locators. Here we have another chamber. There may be some spawners here that I destroyed because of having too many mobs. This is somewhat of a central core chamber. It has two hallways that go from it, but no chest. This is one of those hallways. Set of hallways that goes back to the main hall. So if you want to explore that area, you can, but I just did not mark it because it really doesn't go anywhere. So where is our, let's get back to the chamber, where the central hallway chamber, I'm coming back there. The orange terracotta was further back. We came back to the orange concrete and entered this chamber. Let's go around the perimeter of this chamber. We just took a jag off to the side over here that there really wasn't much of anything there that I have seen. We'll continue going northward. Nothing that way. Continue going northward. North, 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 north. And notice now I am following. We're still going north, north, north. Hallways dead end at skeleton spawner. So that's what would be way down there, somewhere at the end of those hallways. I'm not going to go there. But we are still in this same main hallway specific Explorer map. Over here, there is another chest. Ink, gunpowder, beetroot seeds, rotten flesh. Skeletons do appear. Some of the skeletons have a bow, and some of the skeletons have the crescent of Ra, an enchanted bow. Okay, let's follow. We're still in the same map, going back toward the east. Last chamber here. It does have chests in every corner or every wall. Bones, ingots, emeralds, iron, ingots and nuggets, lapis lazuli, apples, redstone. In this chest, coal, gunpowder, enchanted leather leggings, potatoes, wheat, rotten flesh, string, ink, carrots, enchanted leather, cap, tunic, and boots. And if you watch the white locator on the green locator, you can see where in the map we are. Iron chest plate and sword, iron nuggets, iron hoe, bread, bones, coal, string, wheat. And we have explored this whole chamber. Follow lapis back to ladder. We are still in this particular map. Here was the intersection where we looked at that little jag. Over there. There are some broken areas in the floor, and I did go down there briefly. That may be an area that you want to explore in more detail. The blue stained glass comes over to another chest and also now another map. We are now over underground, but near Crescent Lake. This spawner spawns scorpions. The chest contains an ink, apples, rotten flesh, and wheat. And there is a golden chariot at the end of this hall. This hallway, with branching halls further down, joins back to the main hall with no additional chambers. Notice that I did break through iron railing to get here. And follow the lapis and follow the orange stained glass back to this main central chamber. Here is a pathway to another chamber. Notice I have switched back to the map, the specific map that includes the Crescent Lake. We are near Crescent Lake, and we are closer to Nathis Lake. Follow the white locators. This is the last chamber in this area. We have bones, bread, coal, saddle, name tag string, and compass papers feather. And we are down in this chamber between Nathis Lake at the bottom, Crescent Lake at the top, but very deep underground. Apples, bread, carrots, mushrooms, raw salmon, beetroot seeds, cocoa beans, acacia wood, and wood saplings, birch wood, oak wood, planks, stick, stone pickaxe, wooden axe. Coal, enchanted fishing pole, gold nuggets, wheat, apple, gold ingots, redstone. Gunpowder, enchanted leather boots, potatoes, pumpkin, raw flesh, apples, diamond, diamond horse armor, bread, bones, beetroot seeds, gunpowder, wheat, necklace of Khepri. And notice, necklace of Khepri is not enchanted. String, coal, rails, beetroot seed, torches, iron ingots. So there are some nice supplies in this chamber. And we are, again, this entire chamber is located on this specific locator map. And we will head back toward the main hallway. We have now been to all the chambers that I have found. Follow orange concrete back to the ladder. And here we are back at the ladder. I will now teleport back to the map wall. And I'll back just a little bit. So we had started, I'll repeat, in the Lohrendt apartments, came up a pathway just slightly, went off to the chamber that is on the border of two maps, came back to the main hallway, went up to a central chamber, came over to another hallway deep underground between Crescent Lake and Nathis Lake, came back to the main hall, went up to another little chest, back to the main hall, another little chest at the very northmost part of that underground maze or labyrinth, came over to the right, went to another chamber. So there were two main chambers, two main chambers with lots of chests, a central chamber, and a few chests at various points along the way. That's all for now. Bye.